Hi guys, Red Ninja here. So, as I said before, there's gonna be some new videos up. I hope you guys did enjoy the dental one of me working on my boyfriend. There will be more. Don't worry, I'll have a better one. Sorry, that one was really bad. Anyways, let's get to business here. So today, I thought would be a good day because no one is home. I met my boyfriend. Um, Today I'm going to talk about something that's really hard for me to talk about. Um, as you guys know, I'm in a relationship with the most wonderful guy in this world. I'm going to talk about his condition to the world because I think the world should know about this type of condition because if someone else could be going through something like that, and I pray for those who are suffering with their families through this condition, and I pray that they'll get through it because it's not easy to go through. Um, this condition is called frontal temporal lobe dementia. So I'm going to start with facts, of course, and we'll go along. Alright. Okay, so frontal temporal lobe dementia is sometimes also called as Pick's disease. Another form of it is also called frontal lobe dementia. Um, the diagnosis of frontal lobe dementia, diagnosis would be to know if you have this disease, someone you are close to has been feeling like confused, agitated, or forgetful. May be a good idea to see your doctor about that. Decline in memory, communication skills. Sorry, still sick. Gradual loss of skills needed to carry out a daily basis. Confusion, and it's genetic. Dementia, there's different kinds of dementia. Dementia is a set of symptoms may include memory loss, difficulty in thinking, problem solving, or language. And for this disease, the changes often do start out small. Um, they start to process out small, I'm sorry. And a person with dementia may experience a lot of changes in their mood or behavior. Dementia, how it's caused by the brain is being damaged by a disease such as Alzheimer's disease. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Frontal temporal refers to two lobes of the brain that are damaged in the form of dementia. Frontal lobes of the brain situated behind the forehead. Behind the forehead control behavior, emotions, and partly the right side of the brain. They also control language, and usually the left side of the brain controls the understanding of words. Frontal temporal dementia is caused when the nerve cells of the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain die. Okay. The pathways connect them to change. Loss of important chemical messengers of the brain. Over time, the brain tissue is the frontal and temporal lobe shrinks, damage to the brain. Causes and typical symptoms. The frontotemporal dementia include changes, personality, behavior, difficulties with your words and language. Frontotemporal dementia is less common form of dementia, means it's rare. Many people and health professionals may not, I repeat, may not have heard of it. So may have not heard of this type of condition, and it is rarely known for many professionals to know about it. Frontotemporal dementia in younger people occurs less often than other forms of dementia. Significantly, the cause of dementia in younger people under age of 65, it affects men and women about equally. So it doesn't just affect men, it doesn't just affect women, it affects both. Most often diagnosed between ages of 45 and 65, but can also affect younger and older people. Symptoms. Behavior of the frontotemporal dementia, progressive, non-fluorescent, and symptomatic dementia. Most forms of dementia, the initial symptoms at least, are very subtle. They slowly get worse as the disease progresses over several years. Behavior frontotemporal dementia early stages are personality, behavior, lose of inhibitions, sorry, I can't speak, behave in socially inappropriate ways and act in an impulsive or rash manner. This may include making tactless or inappropriate comments about someone's appearance. Lose interest in people and things. Lose motivation. Unlike someone with depression, like a normal person with depression obviously is depressed or very, very sad. So unlike someone with depression, they are not sad. And they lose sympathy or empathy, less responsive to the needs of others, show less social interest, personal warmth, and it can also make a person appear selfish or like basically not feeling really anything. Show repetitive, compulsive, and compulsive behaviors, repeated use of phrases, gestures, even obsessions, and with time. Crave sweet, fatty foods, cling on to junk foods, which I have noticed, alcohol, or cigarettes. Struggle planning, organizing, making decisions. First appear at work or managing finances. Early stage of dementia. Tend to not have problems with a day-to-day memory or with, I don't know how you say this, skills, some type of skill. Judging relationships, distances between objects. Unusual for someone with this disease, a person with the disease to be aware of the extent of their problems early on. People generally lack control of their behavior or insight of what is happening to them. Symptoms are noticed by people close to them. So someone who's close to you that you love or are friends with will notice the symptoms. Or it's genetic. Language. This one's a hard one to read. Early symptoms are progressive of language, common early and slow, hesitant speech. Speech may seem difficult to produce, and a person may stutter before they can get the right word out, or may mispronounce words. Difficulties in language become apparent slowly, often over 2 or more years. Errors in grammar. I already have errors in grammar, so that's not really surprising. May have telegraphic speech, leaving out small words such as to, from, and or the. Symptomatic dementia speech. People with the disease begin to lose their vocabulary and understanding to words and what objects are. And the early symptoms of that are asking the meaning of a familiar word. What is a knife, for instance? Or what is a object, for example. Trouble finding the right word. Difficulty recognizing familiar people or common subjects. Other aspects of the mental function: memory, visual, spatial skills, planning, or organizing. The later stages. The progression of the temporal dementia varies greatly from less than 2 years to 10 years or more. Research shows that on average people live for about 8 years after the start of the symptoms. Frontal temporal dementia progresses. Differences between 3 types become much less obvious. People with behavior variant tend to develop language problems and may eventually lose all speech. Person may become increasingly less interested in people and things, have limited communication, may slowly get restless, behave aggressively. The late stage, someone may no longer recognize friends and family and is likely to need full-time care to meet their needs. Okay. 10 to 20% of people with this disease develop a motor disorder. 10 to 20% of them do. Before and after the start of dementia. Motor disorder is one of the causes of difficulties with movement. There's motor neuron disease, progressive Um, sorry, I'm having trouble reading this. Um, anyways, there's a lot of you can look those up. Um, Symptoms for motor disorder of the disease is twitching, stiffness, slow movements, loss of balance, or coordination. Later stages, difficult swallowing. The three motor disorders share some symptoms with Parkinson's disease. Motor disorders are all degenerative diseases of the nervous system that they will get worse over time. Frontotemporal dementia, the motor deteriorate quite quickly. On average, a person both conditions will live for 2 to 3 years after diagnosis. Frontotemporal dementia runs in families much more often than the common forms of dementia. 1/3 of people with it have some family history of dementia. 10 to 15% of people with the disease have strong family history of it. Several close relatives, different generations, affected in contrast. Strongly inherited. Early onset Alzheimer's disease affects less than 1 in 1,000 people with Alzheimer's. In this case, frontotemporal dementia is inherited form of a parent as a defect in one of 3 genes, MAPT, GRN, or CQORF ZZ, I think. I think I spelled that wrong. Oh, CZ, I'm sorry. And last but not least, if you were to have a kid with someone with this condition of disease, you would not be able to have a child with someone with frontotemporal disease, because I will tell you why. Children or siblings of someone with one of the mutations of the gene known to cause frontotemporal dementia are at 50% risk of carrying the same defective gene, meaning if you were to have a baby or have sex and get pregnant, you're 50% chance your child is going to get the disease. Progression of the disease cannot be slowed down. Require team professionals, support of a person with dementia, a community nurse, psychiatrist, speech therapist, problems with movement and coordination, support of occupational therapist. Caring for someone with frontotemporal dementia can be challenging because of young age of onset, changes in behavior and communication. Behavior changes. Social situations can get challenging. Embarrassing behavior symptoms as part as the disease. The behavior possesses a risk or harm. The person with dementia generally will lack insight into their condition. Won't have much control of their actions. As long as the behavior is harmless, it may be easier for someone to just carry on with it. Person with the disease behaves inappropriately in public. Some useful tools to help someone with this condition who is suffering from it. remove triggers or distract them by carry a small card that the person has dementia, important to manage restlessness, agitation, or aggressive behavior. Without drugs, without drugs, sorry. Feeling frustrated or in pain, physical exercise, enjoyable and activities carried out with a structured routine. Alcohol may also need to be monitored closely. So that is it of the love of my life who has this disease. And I'm trying so hard not to cry because I love him more than anything, and I will do whatever it takes to stay strong for him. And those of you who have loves out there who are suffering from this disease, I totally hear you out, and I pray that you'll get through it one day at a time. And all as I can say for those who are in the early stages of the disease with their loves is let them be happy. Make them their days go by with a smile and go on many adventures, which is what I'm doing. I love the love of my life very, very much. And I know what the aspects of the disease are, and I know what to expect. But I'm going to keep smiling, and I'm going to stay strong, because I am Red Ninja, and I am very strong. And I will fight the fight. I will stay by his side no matter what, because he's the love of my life, and I plan to be with him for as long as I possibly can. I'll support his family. I'll support him no matter what. I won't leave his side because I love him as much as he loves me. And those of you out there who have questions about this disease, I don't know if I can answer them exactly, but I can try. This was really hard to talk about, but if you have more questions about the disease, I suggest you go to Wikipedia, frontal temporal lobe dementia, and look up facts about it. Alright guys, thank you so much for listening to this factor about frontal temporal lobe dementia disease, also known as Alzheimer's and dementia. And if you guys haven't seen the Notebook movie, it's also kind of like this, but not exactly, I guess. But it's a love story about, two lovers fell in love, and one gets dementia and doesn't remember their love. But anyways, for those of you that are suffering with this disease, I praise you, and I praise you to get through it as much as you can. Just take day by day and spend the most time with your family and loved ones and friends as much as you can. And just make memories happen, which is what I'm doing with my boyfriend. I am making memories. I am taking pictures as much as possible because I want to remember the greatest times with him as I can. Anyways, Red Ninja here. Thanks for listening to me about this disease that is very rare and should be known to the world. Thank you all. Love you guys so much.